The devil is deconstructing. It may seem like an end, but it is actually a beginning. So, okay, so let me tell you one thing. We all have seen Harry Potter, I'm sure, and if you have not, then there is this one damn villain of Harry Potter, which is Voldemort. So Voldemort, he cannot live by its own existence. Okay, it first needed unicorn's blood. So unicorn is one of the most purest soul. Take it, it's one of the most purest soul, unicorn, and it is very rare, and it is found in the forest. So what would Voldemort do? Because it cannot thrive out on its own, it needs the blood. It does not need any rather any other blood, okay, of a human being or something. It needs a pure blood to survive itself. That's how weak the devil is. Okay, that's how weak the negative energies are. Okay, in the last video also I talked about how people, there's so much fear around, there's so much collective fear around black magic, evil eye, all of this. So but I am somebody who's spiritually awakened. I am somebody who has, you know I've walked my journey, and with my experience I can say that negative energies actually do not hold any power. They are actually powerless. They always need a pure soul to thrive on it. So what has really happened, that the pure souls have awakened, and when they awaken, the devil is now the devil is now you know is now left with no other option than to dissolve itself. Okay, so this is exactly what happens, when we start, in Satyuga, then we move into Treta, then we move into Dwapar, I guess, I just hope I'm not wrong. So, and then we move into Kali Yuga, right? So what really is happening? So um, when you fear, okay, you join your cord, okay, with the devil. Okay, that's exactly how it works. But when you are in surrender, see, God and devil, even God cannot survive it on its own. God also needs his bhakta, his devotee, to trust in him. Okay, you have to allow him that space. If you have seen, even modern day relationships, if you see that, then we find that there is a very much lack of trust in people, in respect to each other, in relationships, all kinds of relationships, I would rather say, because people have lost their intuitive abilities. People are relying so much superficially, and are projecting their own fears and their own insecurities, and that leads to mistrust, okay, in relationships as well. And you will find that in relationships where there is no trust, even in friends, romantic or whatever, then they do not, they cannot stick by, even if two people are just right, but if you haven't worked on your fears, it cannot survive, right? So even God cannot survive on its own. you know it needs, you know it needs your surrender. And even the devil cannot survive on its own. It needs your fear. Okay, so it needs you to be anxious, be fearful, and that's how it sucks your energy. But when you are in surrender, God bestows the energy, and you feel that positivity. uh, and But yes, surrender is not that easy. You have to really purge, you have to really cry, you have to really uh, yeah, you really have to purge to come to a point of surrender, truly surrender. Okay, that's a journey itself to reach that point of surrender. you know and it takes time. Sometimes you do your own thing. Okay, for what happens is, first we all do what other people tell us. We try all of that. Then if we are still determined on the path, then we do what we really want to do. And if that also doesn't work, then we come to a point of surrender. So coming to surrender itself is also a journey. that every spiritual seeker goes through. So yeah, so surrender opens you to God, you know. So right now, many people I see, they do not have space for God. They have space for their, what people are thinking. They have space for, what everybody is thinking, because they do not love themselves enough. They do not think of themselves worthy enough, so they need all the people's opinions, judgment to match. And they're tired. They're tired of this modern life. And so if you're also tired of the modern life and you finally feel that, you know, I don't want this kind of love which is conditional, then you can definitely move towards unconditional God's love. And it's only then you can surrender. So, yes, where was I? I don't know from where did I start and why did I took this topic. So, I was actually on point number 1, like why devil is deconstructing itself, right? So, devil is deconstructing itself, and devil is deconstructing itself, and sometimes I over explain. So I forget the original content. Okay, so the devil is deconstructing itself, right? You can watch my, I guess, previous video where I'm the name of the video is propagandas coming to light. So many things are coming up on the surface, and many things are going to come up on the surface. So I've already made a video regarding that. You can watch it out. So many things are going to come out because the devil is deconstructing itself, because the pure souls have awakened, and many structures are going to fall. Many structures are going to fall. And I know I'm laughing and smiling because on the surface it may seem like, wait a minute, what is happening, you know but trust me, it may seem like an end, but it is a new beginning. It is a, if we consciously create the new worth, this is an opportunity for all of us to consciously create the new systems, the new structures, that are in principles with Shiva, that are in principles with the universe, rather than um the devil. Okay, so it's actually an opportunity for all of us. It's an opportunity for, wow. Wow, I love seeing birds going home. I just love it. So yeah, it's an opportunity for all of us to return home. It's an opportunity for all of us to return to light. We've been called back to return home, to return to light, to return to source. Yes, this ending may seem like what is happening, and it may create discomfort. And as a spiritual seeker, I can surely tell you that what seems on the surface is completely opposite to what is really happening, in the divine plan. Trust me, it's a divine plan. And this video might be ahead of its time. Might be ahead of its time. And many structures are going to fall. Many structures are going to fall. Yes. I just want to tell you that, with our wisdom, with our open heart, we can consciously choose to believe again in God, and we can consciously create a new earth. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Fire has two functions. Fire has two functions. So one of the function of fire is that I don't know, let me show you the sun as well. Oh, it's set. it's it just okay, the sunset just happened. So um so fire has two functions. it burns. Okay, it burns things into ashes. It is a symbol of an ending, so one type of fire is that. Okay, there is that kind of fire out. One kind of fire that's really functioning is that. But there is how things are in duality. So the other function of fire, what is the other function of fire? If you've seen that it is used to mend things, fire is used to mend things, mend metals together. For example, if you have to you know get two solid metals together, or so you fire it up, isn't it? And that's how it mends together, or you melt the steel, or you melt any metal, and then you fire it to give it a shape. you know if you have seen something like this, this happens in factories. So that's the other function of fire too. It helps to mend things, bring things together as well. So there are two types of fire that is right now happening. Yeah, that might be the right sentence, I hope so. So there are two types of fire that is taking place. One of the function is burning, ending, and of course the phoenix rises from the ashes. And the other part of it is that it's mending too. It's mending. It's creating love as well. So both the fires are in play, you know, and yeah, that's my major message for all of us, that it's, if we are just a little flexible, we are just a little, if we just choose to surrender, trust me, it's all happening in God's plan, in divine's plan, and this could be the most happiest period for all of us, if we choose to be a little flexible, to be a little open-minded, that maybe this is not an end, but this is a beginning, right? So if we are little, the, and you being flexible, you being adaptable, the more big you are in your consciousness, the more you can do that. If you are somebody you've worked on your fears, then yeah, it might be a little difficult for you, but it's not impossible, right? So yeah, so basically, whoever is brave this time, whoever does not go into panic, that quickly, a little more aware, little more in consciousness, this is such a precious time for all of us to create something new. We have the power, you know we have the power. We have the power. We have the power. We are the ones who hold the power. We create it. We are the ones who are supposed to have the power. But I see not everybody feels that. So uh, I've I've not been very much out for like 2 years of my life. I was like, my corona period started in 2023. I mean, of course, I was not. I wasn't ill, but I was at home for these 2 years, and I was going through a process. I was going through my spiritual process. So I went out after a long time, and I sat in a group of people, and so there were votes in our state recently, and so the group in which I sat, they never voted, and they were like, they must be like, yeah, they must be in the 30s, early 30s, late 20s, that's what they were. Okay. And they never voted, because they think that everyone is corrupt. So who to vote? So I saw that helplessness in their eyes. I saw that. And since there is no true narrative, okay, you know, this one kind of media, will say bad things about the other party, then that type of media will say bad things about the other party. There is no clear narrative available to the youth, and that's why they never voted. They're like, everything is corrupt, what to believe, what to do, so confused, so helpless. They never voted. I remember one of the guy, he voted, and he actually chose uh, some other random party, I guess, uh, the last time he voted was, what do we call that, that option where you are like, I guess, NATO. What is that option? I'm forgetting it. No election something, I don't know, like, I don't know, forgetting it. Okay, so I'm completely forgetting it. So we have lost our creativity. We are feeling confused. There's so many narratives. Who is saying the truth? We don't know. We are not able to see. And that is what I'm really trying to create through my videos as well. I'm trying to create, I'm trying to tell what are the right narratives. And I know it. How do I know it? I know it because I've done my spiritual work. I have done my spiritual work. I am little better, I'm little more conscious at navigating the truth more, but I'm still, open to, if somebody wants to challenge that, this information is wrong, that information is wrong, we can check, we can cross check, we can verify. It's so important that we do that. It's so important that we are always open, and yeah. So, there are a whole lot of narratives, and nobody knows what to choose. They feel confused about what government to choose, what party to choose, what is the right thing to do. Everything is corrupted, their helplessness, this is that. I can just feel it among the youth. They're feeling so confused, and this is what they want. They want you to be confused. I'm sorry, there are a lot of mosquitoes out there. So yeah, they want you to be confused. Okay, they really want you to be confused. They want you to be confused, and they don't want you to speak, right? I mean, mosquitoes don't want me to speak, but they don't want you to vote. They don't want you to know the truth ever. That they want you to be misled, you know and this is what they want. And trust me, they are successful to some extent, but not anymore, because there are a whole lot of people who have spiritually awakened. They're coming out, they're talking about the truth from, a little more clear perspectives, and yes, they can be wrong, of course, but we can navigate through the truth together. It's time that we all get in together and navigate the truth together rather than blaming each other. It's time to be together. It's time to come into the power of collective. They never want us to be together. They want us to, never trust each other. That's what they want, and we're literally giving it to them. We're sowing it to them, like, take it. Khao, piyo, aish karo. We are doing that to them. We don't have to do that to them. So, Noto, I guess. This is what that called? Forgetting the name. Yeah. And I think it's now banned by Supreme Court. It's banned by court now that you cannot press that. Or that option wasn't available this time. Whatever. So, so yeah. So that is what I am trying to say. That it's time for all of us to get together collectively and search for truth, inner truth, outer truth, external truth, everything. And once you clear, do the inner work, once you do the inner work, once you clear out your own fears and insecurities, you will be able to see clearly. This has been my experience as a spiritual seeker, and that's exactly what I'm here for. It's time to create the new earth, and we all have to do it together. I cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. We all have to do it all together. We all have to navigate the truth all together, because many structures are going to be falling. Many structures are going to be just falling, just falling, just falling. Things are going to change so rapidly, so rapidly. And yeah. So yes, I hope I did my justice to this video. And since there are a whole lot of mosquitoes, maybe I'll do a part 2 later. So, yeah. But I just want to tell you that, don't worry. I mean, it will all happen in Shiva's grace, and it will happen. You know, it will happen. Don't worry. So, yeah, at the end of it. But, but he also cannot do it alone, right? He needs our surrender, he needs our trust. You know, we all need to know that it is all in divine plan. Devil is deconstructing, it's all in divine plan, and it may seem like an end, but this is actually the beginning of new earth, and we have to create the new earth together in this. Part 2 maybe later. Thank you for watching. Har Har Mahadev.